So guys, welcome to the Kinning. Oh, there I go again.
Well,
No worries, guys.
welcome to Kinning.
To Kinning.
Yes.
This is our first episode of the podcast.
The search for the manna.
The Search for the Manna, a series like that came through inspiration from I don't know where,
Exactly.
but
It just popped up somewhere.
It just popped up. A bit about ourselves. I'm Kin.
I'm Kin as well.
We're both students, have been students. I'm an international business law student.
Yes.
Other Kin has studied law as well.
Yes.
Just finished. Finished about a year ago.
Yes.
Young professionals. We both work. We're Christian.
Yeah. And just because we're Christians doesn't mean that, like, if you're not Christian, you can't listen to this podcast. It just means that our views most of the time comes from being Christian, and we look at it from a Christian perspective. So yeah.
And mind you, we're not religious.
No, we're
We
not. Okay, but like also the fact that we are Christians doesn't mean that like we know everything and that we are the perfect Christians. So if you want to correct us, like, come to us with love, and we're open for feedback. It's a good one.
And like this platform is not to criticize or like make people feel like they're better in any way, but we're trying to be real. So what I was saying was like we're trying to create a platform. We're trying to create a platform for people to form their own opinions. So like we'll just talk about the struggles we face as Christian women, like professionals, as students of life. But yeah, we just hope that people can learn something from this, and like we'll set up platforms for you to contact us.
Exactly. And it's just a way to, like, because we have like very interesting conversations that go like all over the place, but I feel like this is our outlet as well, and for you guys as listeners to have like a peek into our minds, and that we can have a way of expressing ourselves without feeling like restricted in any way. So
Yeah, so let's just address the elephant in the room, which is
the
obviously
Rona.
COVID-19.
Oh!
Okay, stop. That was a bit too high. But COVID-19,
Yes.
something else. Anyway,
Exactly. I feel like right now, I think it's like week 5 or
6.
Week 6 of like the lockdown in our country. I've gone through every emotion possible. I think the first week I think everything like switched up real quick, because everybody went from corona blah 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 to really understanding and deeping like, whoa, it's a pandemic. And I think the first week was really like adjusting, like, okay, this is the new normal. And the second week came with a lot of craziness, like being afraid of like losing my job and stuff like that, and seeing like the effects that it will have, or that it already had, like on our economy, was quite shocking. So, and I think like from week like 4 or 5, I started getting used to it. Like, but how was that for you? Like the first weeks, the first days?
so the first week, it was the worst. As in, like, emotionally, it was the hardest. Because, okay, I'm a bit of a control freak. Not, okay, no, that's negative. Like, it could be taken in a negative sense. But, like, I just like organization, structure. And it's not that I had, like, a strict routine. But it was just, like, I know what I did. I know where I wanted to go. And I just had a plan set for myself. And it just felt like this whole situation actually caused it not only to like put my whole plan on pause. It was more of like I was just so mad everybody, like the world, the Rona, everything. I was just like, I cried because I felt so powerless. Because like it's not you can't see the Rona. It's not
No,
like
exactly.
it's not like you can just like, normally if you're mad at someone, you could just like confront that person. If you're very aggressive, you can even like, you know, get a little boop boop in. But I couldn't, because this is like, and it's something
For the
like
record, we don't actually condone physical violence.
it's not appropriate.
Okay.
Like it's not
All right.
it's not like it's not appropriate. But like this time I couldn't do anything. I couldn't like, you couldn't physically hold someone accountable for this. Oh, you actually could. I couldn't, not in my near, I couldn't hold anyone accountable in my near environment. So I was just like, ugh. And also because I kind of have to move back to my parents.
Yeah.
And that's also something else. Like all the students who had to move back, like all my friends. One of my friends, she studies in this country, in the country I live in, but had to go back to Africa to her parents.
Ooh.
And like she'd be texting me like, "Hey, these people are making me crazy," and I was like, "Baby girl,
Oh.
baby, baby, I get you." Baby,
that's
I
mad.
get you.
That's
Yeah,
mad.
because like it's not that we don't love our family. It's not that, but it's just different. Like once you move out, you're like used to certain.
I think you're just used to like living on your own.
Yeah.
And, like choosing when to be with your parents or
Hey.
not. Even though like we love them a lot, but like you just get to a certain age where you want to be alone and like independent, and it like feels like now you're back to being dependent.
And that could be okay, but that could be at any age. But for me, it's just like, because I know I'm an old soul, so it came very young, and I'm not that old either. But
No,
you know.
like we're not like both of us. We have like pretty like mature lives, but we're quite young.
But anywho, it was like an emotional roller coaster. It took its toll like in the first week, but then I was like, okay, you know what? Back to normal, of not back to normal, but like back to getting my game straight. As in, like I just went to like the supply store and bought myself some whiteboards, bought myself some like paper I could write my visions on, like what I'm going to do like this coming period. So now I think I'm getting kind of used to it, but the moment they say like we could relax on the rules, I would just like, no, I will first like have certain things in mind before I can which I need to accomplish before I like totally move back to my city. But as for now, I'm just trying to survive. And now like this time really forced me to communicate very clearly when it comes to my feelings. I'm not really a person who talks about their feelings, like no. It was not for me, but now it has to be, because you're surrounded, like when you're not used to being surrounded by people 24/7, and now you suddenly are surrounded by people 24/7, you can't like block them in any way. Or you can't how you say that? You can't like
Pretend, I think.
Also, but you can't like they are in your space.
You can't shut them out.
Yeah, you can't shut them out physically.
Yeah.
And also because like I have a lovely family, so I can't really like, it would hurt them if I do, but I have to communicate very clearly and like set boundaries very clearly, and like if something is bothering me, I just have to say like, okay, you know what, that thing you said there, it's not cute. And that's just the thing that's not very easy.
No. I feel like for me, like it was, I totally understand where you're coming from. And like for me, it was like the moment I entered a relationship, because I'm like it's easy for me to like ghost people for like, a couple of days and be like, listen, I'm not, bye-bye. But like the moment like I got into a relationship and I was like, wait, I really have a cycle of like being sad like for a long period of time. And it's easy, or like, at least for me, it's like very easy to like shut like my friends out and like my family. Also because I live on my own, so I can just be like, oh, I'm fine, or like literally like not reply. But the moment you get into a relationship, it's like you can't like not talk to like your spouse for like 5 days and be like, hey, what's up? Like it doesn't work. So it's, like,
and for the record, like, she is
in a relationship.
and I'm not, so
Yeah. But like, who is who? Skin is skin.
you should recognize that voice from.
Yeah, exactly.
None of your business.
Exactly. But like, yeah, it forced me as well to like recognize like, okay, this is so off topic, by the way. That's so typically us. It's like,
no, it's not. It's
like,
in the
feeling.
topic.
Okay. But like, it caused me to see like, wait, this is how you react. This is how you shut people out. And you can't be shutting people out and be like, oh, you can only be part of like the happy parts of my life. Like, no. If like being sad is a very big part of your life, that person has to see it as well. So yeah, it like, going back to like what Kin said, like, I totally understand like being like with your loved ones and them having to see you or having to speak to you on a daily basis, that they start like clogging things. And like, it's a good thing that you're dealing with it now, because this situation, so the whole Rona situation, kind of like made me stop to think about things that like I just put like in the back of my head, like, okay, I'll deal with it somewhere eventually when I get there. And then Corona happened and everything stopped, and I was like, wait, I have to think about this now. And I started thinking about things like my current job and what I want to do like academically, because as Kin said, I already studied law and I wanted to do something else as well. And it just made me think like, wait, are you actually doing this because you're going to be like, because you want to be happy? Like, why are you doing this? Like, it really pressed and like pushed that question of, why do you want to do it? And because of that, I had like a lot of time to think, and I was like, okay, wait, I'm not doing this. And for some people, like, this whole situation, obviously, like, everybody that's like affected negatively, this is not a great situation. It's a pandemic. But like, for me, it's like obviously negative, but it's even like a very positive thing, because it made me stop and start thinking about a lot of things, you know?
Mm-hmm. It's just that, like, also, I feel like this pandemic was like a rude awakening, rude reality check for... Yeah, it was like a rude... It's a rude reality check for everyone. Yeah. But not everybody. Like, some people may think it's a vacation. Let me just apply for benefits, and the government will figure it out. They will pay me, blah, blah, blah. Some people, like, are still in the mood like, oh, my life is ruined, my life is like, I can't live anymore. Some people are like, okay, looking for like the ways to improve themselves, and there are like people who are in the middle and are like, okay, let me just go with the flow, whatever happens. And at first, like the first few weeks, I was like, okay, I'm done. I'm done. Over it. But now I'm just like, okay, you know what? This, for me, it was like a sign to like be more in touch with myself, like to get to know myself more intensely. And it's not that I didn't know myself. It's not that I don't know myself, but it's just that like, you have to face certain situations to really see like what your beliefs are, or how you react or how you respond. Yeah. So, but I think, and I believe that like I will come out stronger of this whole situation. And that's the thing, like this whole Corona situation, it's not that I'm looking for a relationship. Like, I'm just like, okay, whenever it comes, it comes.
I really like the whole deep. I feel like you can be open to having a relationship.
I'm open to it, but
you seek it. It's like, it's not, for me, that's like how I experience it. Like, I wasn't looking for a relationship at all. I was running away from everything that had to do with the opposite sex. And I was like, no, never. I'm sorry. I'm like, no, never. And I was just running. I was like, I'm trying to focus on the Lord. And it just happened. And I feel like if you have like that mindset of, listen, I'm open to it, but the whole like, oh, like I'm looking for a man, it's like, first of all, hey, he who finds a wife, we're just gonna leave it like at that. Relationship series is a whole nother series that will be handled on like in our podcast, so I'm not gonna go too deep, but it's like there's a difference between like searching and just being open to whatever.
Well, I'm just open. It's not that I'm searching, but
we're young. Like we be acting like we old and like, oh, the last egg, come on, needs to be fertilized. But like
that's not the case. But anyways, but this whole situation. What did I wanted to say?
Shooting shots.
Oh yeah, but this whole situation, like normally, no, it's not okay. I'm a nice person, so it's not that I would be very direct. I would just like ghost you. So try to be like very indirectly, like telling you, giving you hints, like no, it's a no. But this time around, I was just very like, okay, you know what? I'm not going to entertain you. I am not open to a relationship with you. So
not even dating.
If you can just like step down, and if it's hard for you, just tell me, just block me, and I would rather have you not. I would rather have you like not talk to me than like thinking that we're talking like that there's a future. No, as for a romantic relationship, there's no future. So this period like also taught me like that I have to be very direct, and it's not always easy.
No, it's not.
But
it's not.
Hey, some people don't get the memo. So you know what? I had to.
Yeah.
But this season, like, I'm just trying to focus on like little projects I got going on, and like just trying to build myself and really like be in touch with my. It's not that I wasn't, but because like I do a lot. I don't want to, but I do a lot. As in, like, I made very long days. At times, like, I would leave the house at 7:30, and I would just, like, come back 11, 12. So, I made very long days. And I did have, like, time for myself, but not to the extent I have now. Yeah. So, it's,
I just feel like it was such a, like, routine. Like, being busy and, like, kind of not really, like, living the same day each day, but kind of, it was, you know, the whole, I'm busy. And that's, like, every day I'm busy. Like, that was, like, a way of living. Like, we didn't even, it's because of the Rona that we're seeing each other on a weekly basis.
6 months.
Like, we used to see each other, like, once in every 6 months, and that is a whole different video. Like, going, like, having such a solid friendship that being able to see each other, like, 2 times a year was enough. But it's, like, it just made me stop. Like, the whole Corona thing just made me stop and start thinking, like, wait, but, like,
things in perspective.
But what do I do? Like, apart from, like, things that are very important. So, going to school, for example, working, going to church. Obviously, like, that's a very big part of my life. Like, I basically, if I'm not at home, I'm at church. But what do I do, like as in pouring into myself? Like, what do I actually do? And when is it that I have that me time? And it made me think, like, whoa, I'm really busy with a lot of stuff.
Except
and, like,
for myself.
Yeah.
Working harder on, like, other things than you are on yourself.
Yes.
It's a bad thing. But, yeah.
It was really like, wait, so my life is really, like, this is my life? And it really made me, and that's why, like, I decided, like, not to follow up on, like, what I was planning to do, like, on, like, academics and stuff, because it's like, whoa, I was really, like, about to commit to something else, and just, like, keep committing to things, and just, like, just do it. And it's like, I have to live in the moment every single day. That's, like, something that I've learned, like, enjoy everything you do, and having a job that pays, like, extremely well is nice. It's very, very nice, but it's not everything.
If you don't like it.
If you don't like it.
And, like, in the country we live in, it's very normal to have a job you don't like, and just
hate it.
nag,
Right?
nag about the job, nag about the boss, nag about the manager, nag about your salary, like nag about everything.
Yeah,
That's like part of the culture, work culture here. So, but I hope for, like, obviously in times of crisis, like, even if you like go back to the Bible, in times of crisis there are a lot of people that thrive in periods like this, and I'm trying to be one of those people.
Exactly. Amen.
So it's like the whole worrying thing, like, people, you don't have time.
No.
Then what this whole situation taught me is that you actually don't have time.
No.
And you never know, like, when, like, your time is to meet your maker. Because
Exactly.
a lot of people, before this whole corona thing was a thing in Europe, a lot of people never would have thought that they would have they will lose loved ones because of it.
And it's like, if you like come to die right now and you look back, what have you been doing? Like all of this years, and like, if we only take like 2020, like 2K20, what have you been doing? Like, literally, if I look back, I was busy with everything
Except for yourself.
except for myself, and I've been doing that for like forever, and this has been like the norm. Whereas I feel like the norm has to be like, obviously you have the things that you're like committed to, that you have to do, but you have to take time and like develop as a person as well. And like, this situation really made me think like, whoa, really? This is what I've been doing with my life? And that's why I just feel like, if you're at a job and you don't like it, obviously find a new job first, but leave, because life is too short to be like, well, I have to like commit and stick to it for like another like 2-3 years. Like, no.
It's
no.
a no.
It's a no.
So, what were the other points we had to discuss?
The practical tips on how to survive. Oh, using corona. Like, let's go to like using corona as scapegoat, because to be honest, I was like using corona as a scapegoat for a while. I was like, oh, I can't see people. Oh, corona. And then I'm like, wait, corona isn't leaving. So I can't be using corona as a scapegoat and be like, oh, corona, no, it's corona's fault, blah blah. Like, no, like, life goes on. Like, obviously the first few weeks we had to get used to the situation because we have never been in a pandemic before. But now it's like, okay, we move. Now, how do you like live with corona around you? So yeah.
So, like, the practical stuff. Okay, this whole situation also exposed like the level of hygiene people had, because it's like, for me it's very weird. Also because like most of the family members like don't like germs or anything like that. So even for me, like, every time I enter the house, every time I go out and enter the house, I have to wash my hands and stuff like that. And like, for the government to impose such rules for people, I'm like, so you guys just, when do you wash your hands? Because I've also like at uni, like when I go to the toilet and people see that, like females see that I'm washing my hands, and like the other tub is taken as well, they would just like rush out of the bathroom, of like the toilet, and I'm like, so washing your hands is not a thing, baby. And like, it's not that I'm like, it's so disgusting. But anyways, like, I'm very happy that everybody is stepping their hygiene game up. Mm-hmm. But on the other hand, I'm like, a lot of people are, I can sense that a lot of people are just, how can I say that? Like, they're just, using corona as scapegoat, in the sense that they, everything they planned, okay, now I can't do it because of corona. Baby girl,
listen,
no.
Faith over fear. 2K20 is still our year.
Yeah, and that's also like, people are so like loose when it comes to like their words.
Another series.
Yeah, because they just be like, okay, 2020 is cancelled. Cancelled for who, baby girl? Not cancelled for me.
My year's is starting.
Because it's just like, we're just in the month of April. A lot of things can change.
But yeah, a lot of things can change, and it's like, stop using Corona as a scapegoat to like cancel your whole life, your whole existence, and be like, oh, let's continue in 2K21. I'm like, who said that you actually will be alive in 2K21? Like, to be honest, who said that? But anyways, guys, we are very easily distracted. Even in our topics, we go from different topics in 5 minutes, so bear with us. Lastly, we would like to discuss practical tools you can... Oh, okay. Practical tools on how we stay sane.
Okay, so let me start. What I do. So, I had this discipline from a very young age. I think from the age of maybe 12, that I used to run like very early in the morning. But then I went to uni and I was like, let me just skip this one time. And then that one time turned out to be 6 months. But now the Rona is here, I can't go to the gym. So what I do every morning, or at least I try to do at least like 5 mornings in a week, go for a run. Like, go for a run, I think 10... but it's like 6 miles, which is 10 kilometers. I go for a run, or I either do like a at-home workout. Although I must say, I'm not a fan of at-home workouts. I read a lot. At this moment, I'm reading like a lot of not personal. Yeah, personal. You would categorize them as like personal development books. At this moment, I'm reading. I just finished reading Think and Grow Rich from Napoleon Hill, which is like very recommended. But if you're not there, you have to be like mature in your mind in a certain way. And like, maturity has nothing to do with age, but you have to be mature in like a certain way to like understand that book. But I just finished it like 2 days ago, and now I'm reading The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. I'm not sure if I'm like pronouncing that correctly, but I hope so. So I read, I play piano, I listen to music, listen to podcasts, motivational speeches, like preachings as well, read the Bible. I'm just doing a lot of things for myself. Like, for myself.
Yes. Get rid of that hair, baby.
Oh. And that's not something, because if we ever reveal our identity, people know.
But yeah,
it's so I'm just doing a lot of things for myself. Cooking. Oh, I have baked my first cake. Coconut cake. Ooh.
I have a very funny story that I'll tell you like after this.
Yeah, so I'm just doing a lot of things for myself, and journaling, and like speaking with loved ones. So it's very. I'm doing things for myself, in short. And like, you could just like make a list for yourself and see what things do you prioritize. What are things you wanted to do but never had the time for. Now you have to make the time for it. And also, like, this is a period to build up healthy habits. Yeah. Because obviously this situation won't last forever. The world will still kind of go back to normal. So what are the habits you want to take, you're developing now, you would like to take with you after, like, post-corona? Yes. So that's also something I'm thinking a lot about. But yeah, I'm working on myself and like trying. No, I'm not trying. I'm doing. I'm like really working on myself. Yeah. And that's basically it. And when I go for a run, I go for a run very early in the morning. And because the shops open like very early in the morning as well, when I go for grocery shopping, I also go early in the morning, and like I like have a list with me so that I don't buy unnecessary stuff. So yeah, it's just like I'm just building myself, because I'm trying to be excellent. I'm trying to be like someone to look up to.
I feel like now I've really like prioritized like, okay, who do I want to like spend time with, and I've been like prioritizing like seeing like 3 people like every week. I have to see those people, and it really has taught me like, okay, who is in your life that you really like want to pour into and you really want to like, you know, stay in touch with in like these times. And obviously there are other people that I may or may not be talking to that I would like love to keep in my life, but there are like some people that are really necessary, you know, and some people that are just, you know, they're just there. And actually we had a very great sermon, like I think it was last Sunday, and it was about like this corona thing really showed you like your weakness in Christ. And that's very funny because like I experienced it as well. Like as soon as corona started, I really like noticed like the part where I'm struggling in my walk with God. And that's a good one. So like if you have like noticed like any change in like your routine, then you know like, oh wait, that's where my weakness is. And I feel like thinking, because I'm a thinker, I think a lot. I think a lot. It's a really great time to like think about, just like evaluate your life and be like, okay, am I happy with stuff, and what would I like to change? And like what Kin already said, like develop healthy habits, and just think about your future and like speak things into your future and be like, okay, this is what I would like to see like post corona. And
don't be negative.
Don't be negative. Like speak life, and like don't speak death, because those things are real. And be mindful, like
surround yourself.
Yes, and like the things that you see online, and maybe friends might be posting it, like correct them as well. And also, even though we somewhere in our minds we're like, oh, we're strong and it wouldn't affect us, just like be mindful of the things that you let people speak over your life, even about like corona and stuff. So yeah, those are the tips that we have. I think we have come to the end of our first episode. Bear with us, this was our first podcast. We're all over the place, and in a year from now we'll laugh at this very moment. I think I would like, I know I would like to like close off with the Bible verse in Jeremiah 1:6-9. And basically it speaks about not being afraid to use your voice that God gave you because of your age. I think it's very easy to be like, oh, we're young, like what we already said, like we're young people and we don't know like everything, and
we're not going to disclose our age.
No, we're not. But like, you know, it's very easy to be like, I'm young, like what do I know about life? What do I know about relationships? What do I know about toxicity and about life like itself? But God gave us this platform. He gave us this idea. He gave us the energy to actually do this. And for whoever might be listening, like, just because of, don't let your age determine like what you can and cannot do, because you can do great things and be like 2 and be doing great things, or be like 80 and do nothing. It's like there's no
and at the end of the day, like when you don't fulfill your potential, I feel like, and I know, like you're the only one who has to deal with that. You're the only one who has to deal with it. I have a story time about this guy.
Focus.
You're the only one who has to. You're the only one who has to deal with that. And if you don't, like, get your ish together,
get your life.
Get your life, baby.
Get it together.
And now is the perfect time.
Take like a champ.
Yeah, take it like a champ. Take life like a champ. Because life is only like people are like, yeah, but I deserve it. Okay, that's cute that you deserve things, but everybody deserves
Go get
things.
it.
Yeah, life won't give you what you deserve. Life will give you what you like, what you work for.
Yes.
So this is like it's a period people should think. If you're not a thinker, like if you're a thinker, it's not that difficult.
No.
But if you aren't, like, start thinking.
Yes.
And start like taking time for yourself. Start being quiet.
Yes.
Because that's also like a thing I've been practicing, just being quiet for 10 minutes. Because sometimes, and not only being quiet as in like not speaking, being quiet in your mind. Because people, like, the way our mind goes off sometimes, it's not normal. And people think it's normal because they're used to it, but just because you're used to it doesn't mean it's normal. But that's also another topic, another series of podcasts. But I think that's it for now.
Yes.
Just like use this time to work on yourself, because that's the best investment you can make.